final one in a series of videos on how to draw syntactic trees. In the first videos, I was focusing on the actual act of drawing the trees, and I've argued that the best way to create a syntactic tree is to physically draw it with paper and pencil. But I also recognize that we live in a digital world, and you need to have some way of creating an electronic version of your syntactic tree. One easy way to do that would be just to take your phone out and photograph the tree on paper. That works pretty well. If you have a way of then transferring it so that then you can copy it into a file, you can actually copy and paste it directly into a Word file, or you could upload it directly into Canvas, that's fine. Or if you have a way of scanning it and making it into a PDF copy, that's fine as well. You can upload that directly to Canvas. But there is another option, and that is to actually draw it in a word processing program. So I'm going to be using Word for this. The first thing I want to do is just go in here, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of carriage returns. So I'm just going to hit enter a whole bunch of times. Then I want to go up to my ruler, and you want to make sure that your ruler is visible. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little tab there at the 5, at the 0.5 position. And now I just hit tab, and then I start writing my words. So my tab, cat, tab, believes, tab, she, tab, is, tab, a, tab, God. All right, and all I'm doing is just copying what I've already drawn by hand. Now I'm going to go up 2 spaces. So I'm just going to use the arrow key and go up 2. And now I do, again, I want to get my tab mark here. And again, I just put a tab. Now I'm going to do the parts of speech. So I'm labeling each one of these words. So I've got D for determiner, N, I've got an SV for sentential verb, I've got NP, I've got TV, I've got determiner again, and I've got N. Okay, now I'm going to have to do a little bit of creative tabbing. So now I just need to make sure that my labels are lining up with the words below. And that's just a matter of putting a tab mark in the right places, and that looks pretty good. Now I can go to Insert, and let's see, where do I want? I want illustrations, I think. Yeah, and I want shapes, and I'm going to right-click on line. And what I want to do is lock drawing mode, so that way I am drawing lines, and I'm not going to bother with being very neat about this. You know, if I were publishing this or something like that, I might want this to be a little neater. But, you know, for our purposes, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now we're going to, oops, I did not want to do that. Okay, now I move up 2 again. So let's see, that's 1, 2. Okay, now again, I want my tab in the right position. So I'm going to put a tab right here. Oops. Right in between the D and the N. And press tab. And now I write NP. And then I want, notice how the next layer is that NP over here. So I'm going to hit tab again. But this time I'm going to move that over here so it's right between and God. And I write NP. And once again, I want to go to Insert. I want to go to Illustrations, Shapes, and I'm going to lock that in place and draw lines from my 2 nodes here. Okay, now I'm going to, I don't know what I did there. Okay, but I'm in the right place, so that's good enough. All right, now my next one up, and I've got to look over at the tree I'm drawing here. So it's the VP I want to do next. So I want that to be right about there. I hit Tab, and I write VP. Now I go back to Insert, Illustrations, and Shapes, lock on that, and then I'm going to draw a line from that VP to the TV and the NP. Okay, and now I go up 2, and my next one, looking at my drawing, is the S. So I want a tab right there, and I write S, and I go back to Illustrations, and I think you get the picture at this point. Oops, I forgot to lock that, so I'm going to have to do that again, unfortunately. Illustrations, Shapes, Line, and then I just draw over here. Okay, now I go up 2 again, and my next one I want is the VP, so I want one right about there, Tab, VP, and this time I'll try to remember to lock it so that I don't have to do this twice. And I'm going to draw one to there and one to there. And I found if I hit Escape, then that takes me out of the drawing mode. And now I go up 2, and luckily I'm now at my final one. I want the S to be right about here. And I click the tab again, type in S, go to Insert, Illustrations, Shapes, lock drawing mode, and I've got it. So now I've got this as a tree in, oops, I didn't want to do that. Get rid of that. All right, now I've got my tree, and I can save that into my file. I can copy and paste it into any sort of Word document. I could even, I believe I can copy and paste this and turn it into an image, into a picture, a JPEG. There's all sorts of things I can do with it now that I've got it in this position. So if that is intuitive to you, that's great as well. And I guess what I'm trying to give you is options, as many options as possible, so that you're able to create a syntactic tree and then present it to the class.